Kirk Cousins is your 2013 Washington football team starter for the remaining 3 games of the season. TheBigLead.com's Jason McIntyre, who started TheBigLead.com, former writer for ESPN.com, awesome dude. He had 4 points, basically, that he wants to make about why this is the smart decision. So let's go to those very quickly. Point number 1 from The Big Lead's Jason McIntyre. The Redskins don't have a first-round draft pick in 2014 due to the RG3 deal. The Rams get it. That'll be a top 5 pick. I'm not sure that totally matters, but the next ones do. Number 2, starting Cousins in the final 3 weeks against terrible pass defenses ranked in the bottom third of the league. Atlanta allowing the highest passer rating in the NFL at 104.3. Dallas giving up the most passing yards, 3,880, could set a record. And the Giants, 25 sacks, second lowest total in the NFL, gives him the opportunity to shine. Point number 3, as many as a dozen teams need a quarterback, either this offseason in free agency, Jay Cutler. Marcus Mariota's out, but we already talked about who the potential quarterbacks could be. You know where this is headed, right? And then at point number 4, let's say Cousins plays well in the final 3 weeks. He throws out some random numbers, but then moving along, the Redskins have a tasty quarterback to dangle the teams, possibly a first-round draft pick, no way. Or more likely for 2 picks, say 2nd and 5th. Still can't see that. And point number 5, why toss RG3 out there for 1 more weekend so he can continue to get hammered behind an ineffective offensive line when you showcase Cousins and then possibly trade him? So I like a few of those points. The one that sticks out to me is the last one, and also you could use him as trade bait. He's not going to put up astounding numbers. I mean, out of anything, because of Washington's offensive line, he's going to get on his ass a lot. He's going to be put on his ass a lot. But Drew, let me start with you. Can they possibly trade him for 2nd round pick, 3rd round pick?
I think they could trade him, but I don't know.
Depending how well he plays.
Depending on how well he plays to the Browns. Here we go again.
Take it.
That's kind of like a little Matt Flynn effect, where he has 1 game and then everybody's like, he's the next great, and then he goes and robs the whole West Coast of money and then comes back to the Green Bay. Well, anyways, that's a whole other subject. Sure. But I feel like he's going to have productive, especially the teams he's facing. I feel like he's going to have some sort of productivity. You don't know what there's so many layers of this. With Shanahan, maybe fired. You don't know.
He's gone. Maybe, yeah. He's gone.
He might be showcased. You don't know. Like he can still. Yeah. I feel like with RG3 thing, that's the weird thing with me. I understand you want to save him because he's injured and you don't want him to be injured again. And he said all the right things in his press conference. He's like, I want to be out there with the guys and da-da-da. But it's like.
He made him the scout team quarterback, by the way.
I'm just like, I just don't understand. Like, everybody's hurt. Everybody's injured right now. Sure. I get it. I guess he's the savior. He's the franchise quarterback. But I'm like, everybody's injured, so why wouldn't you keep playing him?
And not only that, RG3 is obviously the most hurt out of anybody, it seems like, on this team. So why exactly risk him long term?
I agree. He's been sacked 25 times in the past 4 games. But at the same time, their offense has been very inefficient, and he might very well think that Kirk Cousins gives them a better chance to win.
Right.
And he's gone. I think you're right. But I think another point worth being made that hasn't been made is his son is the offensive coordinator. Yeah. So maybe he wants to showcase his son as much as he wants to showcase Kirk Cousins. I agree. We don't know what Kirk Cousins is. We don't know what he's going to be. Certainly people have talked about him as a potential starter in the NFL, which makes him awesome, great trade bait to Oakland or Cleveland or a number of markets. And I think we'll find out. But in the last 4 games, they've scored 16, 6, 17, and 10 points and gotten basically blown out in 3 of those. Yeah. Well, the situation now is you have 3 alpha dogs in Snyder, RG3, and Shanahan, which just is a nightmare. It's a disaster. Yeah. Even next year, Dan Snyder he's not going to be able to get a big-name guy who has a type A personality to come in there. Seeing what RG3 has really done to Shanahan's career in terms of he's done. I mean, RG3 doing it to his career. He might have done it to himself or whatever, but you have to hire. I think of a guy like Jay Gruden in Cincinnati, like an offensive coordinator who isn't gonna force his will on Dan Snyder or RG3.
Like a submissive coach.
Here's the last point that I'm going to make on this. There has been a problem with Dan Snyder ever since he took over Washington football team, and I understand that a lot of people hate him. But one precedent that he set that is totally unacceptable is giving this preferential treatment to RG3. limo rides. Oh yeah, let me take care of your family. They could sit next to me in the box and all this shit. Should not happen like that. And out of anything,
the logo.
Out of anything, a lot of people, well, aside from that, a lot of people on the team, especially a lot of his teammates, are like, what's going on with this?
Right.
What exactly is going on here?
I agree with you. I think RG3 has also brought a lot of this on himself. Like he was on the cover of GQ this year. He's got, he's copy or trademark.
You can't blame him.
Trademark team, operation patience and all this stuff, and taking the fines for that.
Sure.
The Adidas first week.
I think he became so ridiculously successful so quick.
Yes.
I think he went to his head a little bit. I think his priorities might not be as straight as they should be, and I think his play has suffered because of it.
You know what I see? Shanahan is pulling him out of the fire.
Yeah.
From the post-game pressers, the blame, what have you. He's just saying, you know what? It's kind of like when you're in the 10th round and you're getting your ass beat, and your trainer throws in the towel, and the rep gives you a hug, and or the rep stops the fight. He's like, live to fight another day.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing.